Showing full.
Okay. Namaskar, good evening to all of you. I extend a warm welcome to the press conference on rainfall forecast for January to March 2024 and monthly outlook for rainfall and temperature during January 2024. Before I proceed, I, on behalf of India Meteorological Department and my personal behalf, extend warm greetings to all our friends and colleagues from press and electronic media. And I wish a very happy, healthy, peaceful, and prosperous New Year to all of you and your family members, dear and dear ones. Before we proceed for the forecast or outlook for January to March, let us have a look about the performance during 2023. If you remember, on the past December, we gave a press conference and issued the press release about the rainfall and temperature in December. I'll just show you what happened in December 2023 rainfall over South Peninsula especially. The South Peninsula consists of Tamil Nadu, Puducherry, coastal Andhra Pradesh, Rayalaseema, Kerala, and South Interior Karnataka. And this South Peninsula region receives about 30% of its annual rainfall during northeast monsoon season, that is October to December. And especially Tamil Nadu and Puducherry, they get 48% of the annual rainfall during the season. So therefore, the rainfall during October, December or December is very important for South Peninsula region. So this year, this region got a rainfall of 98.5 millimeter, which was the 10th highest since 1901. The highest rainfall was in 1946, which was 153.3 millimeter. You can see the time series here on the left-hand side diagram. And there has been random, as I told in the last press conference, that it does not show any trend in the northeast monsoon rainfall. So, however, after 1965, you will see that this is the highest rainfall. 1965, it was, you can say, well, not after 1965. You can say that there has been significant amount of rainfall, more than 98.5 in 1965, then 1952, 1972, 1983, 1925, 1996, 1996, 1931, and 1946 is the highest. Now, if you just look at all India and Northeast India rainfall during December 2023, all India rainfall was 25.5 millimeter, which was 12th highest since 1901 and highest since 2001. That means what I want to say, that December got very good rainfall activity for all India. Similarly, if I look at the East and Northeast India also, their rainfall activity was 9th highest, that is 26.9 millimeter, and it is highest since 2001. So therefore, South Peninsula got good rainfall, all India got good rainfall, and East and Northeast India also got good rainfall activity in December. Now let us look at different homogeneous regions. You will find that country as a whole, it was 60% above normal. Normally 15.9 millimeter rainfall is received in December, but this month December it was 25.5. And Northwest India, it was deficient, that is 65% deficient. East and Northeast India was 105% excess. Central India 191% excess. South Peninsula 126% excess. On the right hand side diagram, as you can see, the sub-divisional rainfall departures, you find that most parts of the country are blue or deep blue. Blue and deep blue indicates excess and large excess rainfall activity. Only Northwest India and some parts of Western India and Arunachal Pradesh and South Interior Karnataka got the deficient rainfall. The basic reason for deficiency in rainfall in December over Northwest India was the lack of active western disturbances. We could not get much active western disturbances. One western disturbance came in association with the easterly waves, which caused very good rainfall activity for central India, that is Rajasthan, then Maharashtra, Gujarat, all these areas, and UP also. But northwest India could not get any such high amount of rainfall because of the western disturbances. And eastern India, peninsular India, northeast India got good rainfall activity, especially because of the tropical cyclone Mijam. If you remember, that cyclone moved and crossed south of Apatla in Andhra Pradesh coast and then moved northeastwards its remnants. It caused good rainfall activity over eastern parts of the country. So this is the seasonal rainfall during post-monsoon season 2023. You can find out on the left-hand side diagram that most of the subregions were either green or blue. That means most of the regions got normal to excess rainfall activity. But still, interior peninsula, you just look at interior Karnataka, interior Maharashtra, Telangana, Rayalaseema, all these areas were deficient rainfall activity. Similarly, Saurashtra, Kutch, and West UP, Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh was deficient rainfall activity. Otherwise, remaining parts got good rainfall activity. And country as a whole, for the post-monsoon season, that is 1st October, 31st December, was normal, and it was 8.5% below the long period average. Northwest India was normal. East and Northeast India was 10.3% above normal. 22% deficient in Central India, and 13% deficient in South Peninsular India. Now let us look at the temperature during December. You can find out on the top column, it is the maximum temperature, minimum temperature, and the mean temperature distribution. And the bottom, you have the maximum temperature anomaly. Anomaly means deviation from the long period average. Mean temperature anomaly and minimum temperature anomaly and mean temperature anomaly. What you find actually, maximum temperature, if you just look at, because of the good rainfall activity, the central India and adjoining North Peninsular India, including Andhra Pradesh and northern Tamil Nadu, it was below normal temperature, maximum temperature below normal. It is expected. If the cloudiness is more, then maximum temperature will be below normal. Then minimum temperature was higher than normal. It is also expected, because if it is cloudiness, the nights will be warmer. So minimum temperature was higher than normal. And taking the average of both maximum and minimum, that is mean temperature, it was also higher than normal. Now let us look at what was the forecast and what happened with respect to the rainfall. On the left-hand side, this is the observed rainfall that you can find out in the October. I have shown a little earlier. Also, the rainfall was normal to excess in most parts of the country except Northwest India and some parts of Peninsular India. It was highly excess over the Northern Peninsula, especially North Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, Jharkhand, West Bengal, and Assam, Meghalaya, Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram, Tripura. It's mainly because of the tropical cyclone Mijam. And at the same time, some parts of Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan was excess because of the western disturbance in the beginning of the month. And the forecast, if you just look at on the right-hand side, is the forecast issued. You can find out that yes, to a large extent, it could pick up that it will be above normal rainfall activity for the country as a whole. But there was some partial displacement with respect to the peninsular India, and it was showing to the southern parts of peninsula, but the forecast was northern parts of peninsula, and actually talked about southern parts of peninsula, some kind of deficient rainfall activity. But it could capture the high rainfall activity over the central parts of the country and to some adjoining areas. Northwest India, it gave higher rainfall activity, but it was deficient rainfall activity. Now, if you look at the temperature, on the left-hand side is the temperature, maximum temperature, and right-hand side is the forecast temperature. You will find that a large extent, reasonably, it could capture the above normal temperature in most parts of the country, except some parts of northwest and adjoining west central India and peninsular India. Now let us look at the minimum temperature. On the right-hand side, the minimum temperature forecast. Left-hand side is the actual minimum temperature. You will find that, as we predicted, the minimum temperature was above normal in most parts of the country, except some parts of northwest India. And that could not be predicted well, but otherwise a large signal was there the country will have higher than normal temperature, that we have seen in December. Now let us look at the heavy rainfall events which occurred in December. If you remember that, yes, it caused extremely heavy rainfall activity, especially in northern parts of Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh in association with the cyclone Mijam, and in association with the cyclonic circulation over Comorin area, the extreme southern peninsula, especially Tirunelveli district, Thoothukudi district, and adjoining areas, the extremely heavy rainfall activity. Red dots you can find out in this diagram, left-hand diagram. The right-hand side table gives a comparison for the past 5 years about heavy rainfall activity, very heavy rainfall activity, and extremely heavy rainfall activity. But you find that the red one is the extremely heavy rainfall activity, that is rainfall activity more than 20 centimeter in 24 hours. What you find actually in 2023, there are 54 occasions compared to just single digit in previous years of 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22. So what I want to say that this year it was phenomenal. The extremely heavy rainfall activity was quite high, and that was concentrated only in Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. And it was mainly because of the two weather systems what I explained you in the month of December. As a result, both these two weather systems, because of this extreme heavy rainfall activity, caused floods, and that floods led to the loss of lives and properties. Now let us look at little details about the tropical cyclones. As I told you, Migzam crossed Andhra Pradesh coast just south of Bapatla, and you can see that in the month of October, November, December, there has been about 4 systems, 4 cyclones developing in this period, and this one is the Migzam, which crossed south of Bapatla. So if you just look at what you find that all these systems in this season had the landfall, but over India coast it was only one system, that is the Migzam. Now let us look at the detailed track of the Migzam. You will find that from 27th November 5:30, the low pressure area formed over South Andaman Sea, and it gradually moved and became depression on 1st December, and finally it became a severe cyclone storm on 4th December. And on 5th December, 12:30 to 14:30 hours IST, it crossed coast south of Bapatla, the severe cyclone storm, with wind speed of 90 to 100 kilometers per hour. And this forecast for this cyclone was given 15 days ahead. You can just see the extended range forecast issued every Thursday, and forecast issued on 17th of November indicated that there will be a genesis over the South Bay of Bengal. And finally, it happened so. And it was updated with a high probability, red color, you can see on this diagram, that there will be some development. Prediction was based on 24th of November. Okay, so this is the first signal which was given from 17th, and it was followed up, and finally on 27th, low pressure area formed, and on 5th of December, it crossed the coast. So this was the forecast verification of the track. You can see the red color is the forecast track, and black color is the observed track. In both the cases, left-hand side is the track, and right-hand side the wind forecast. The violet color indicates winds more than 90 kilometers, more than 60 kilometers per hour, and the gray color indicates wind speed more than 50 kilometers per hour. So what you find that you cannot differentiate much between the red line and black line. But I want to say that forecast was very accurate with respect to the track intensity and landfall of the tropical cyclone Migzam, which helped the disaster managers and the general public and various stakeholders with the help of the press and electronic media to minimize the loss of lives and properties. So this was the operational forecast performance. On the left-hand side, we'll see that yes, this violet one is the forecast accuracy in case of Migzam, and the yellow one is the long period average based on the last 5 years, 2018 to 2022. But you find that rainfall, the track forecast was less than 100 kilometers up to 96 hours. That is, up to 4 days, it was less than 100 kilometers. So it was a very excellent forecast as a forecaster, I will tell you, which helped the disaster managers to take actions. On the right-hand side also, the intensity forecast was quite accurate, being limited only to about, say, 10 nautical miles per hour error. This is the landfall point. You will find that landfall forecast was about, maximum error was 50 kilometers in 60 to 70 hour forecast. Otherwise, landfall error was quite less. Considering the diameter of the cyclone I is about 50 kilometers, the error was quite negligible, and it helped, therefore, in better management of the system. Now, if you look at the disastrous weather event in December, you will find that there has been especially 3 types of disasters. One is the flood. The most important one is the flood. You can see the flood happening over the coastal districts of Andhra Pradesh, extreme northernmost districts of Tamil Nadu, in extreme southernmost districts of Tamil Nadu, where the flood occurs because it is two events. One is the cyclone, other one is the cyclonic circulation over the Comorin area. At the same time, there was a tropical cyclone and there was lightning, of course, associated with that. Now, let us have some kind of look about the year as a whole. You know that we have come to the end of the year of 2023. The annual mean land surface air temperature average over the country during 2023 was 0.65 degrees Celsius above the long-term average of 1981 to 2010. So the year 2023 was the second warmest year on record since 1901. The warmest was in 2016. It was 0.71 degrees Celsius. And all of us know that globally also 2023 was one of the warmest year, and it is next statement will come from WMO. Whatever statement is provided in the month of November, it is the warmest. The all India mean temperatures during the pre-monsoon, that is March to May season, was normal with anomaly or deviation from long period average at 0.06 degrees Celsius, while other seasons like winter season January to February, it was above normal, and it was 0.83 degrees Celsius above normal. The monsoon season, that is June to September, it was 0.74 degrees Celsius above normal. Post-monsoon season, that is October to December, it was 1 degree Celsius above normal. So that means the above normal temperature continued since this monsoon season, then post-monsoon season, and previously also the winter season. Only in pre-monsoon season, it was near normal. The 2023 annual rainfall over the country as a whole, that is till, okay, we will update it, but it is now updated. It was about 95% of its long period average. With some data, it may be little variations, but why don't say that it was normal based on the average of 1971 to 2020. The updated figure will be provided to you with very shortly. The winter season rainfall was 56% of its long period average. Pre-monsoon season rainfall was 103% of long period average. Southwest monsoon season was 94.4% of long period average. And rainfall during post-monsoon season was about 110% of its long period average. So we will give you the modified statement, and Dr. Srijit will provide the modified statement today or tomorrow. Above normal cyclone activity observed over North Indian Ocean. There were 6 cyclones over North Indian Ocean during the year, and 2 cyclones crossed India coast. That is Biparjoy, it crossed Gujarat coast, and Vijam crossed Andhra Pradesh coast. There were also the extremely heavy rainfall leading to floods, then heat waves and cold waves that you have seen earlier also in the month. Now let us look at the average temperature during 2023. So what you find that if you see the rank since 1901, so February was the warmest, August was also warmest, September was second warmest, and then October, November was third warmest, December was 7th warmest. So this is the maximum temperature what you find, and annual, if you just look at it, has been really the third warmest. Now let us look at the minimum temperature rank since 1901. If you just look at it is February was the 5th warmest, and July and August was second warmest, September was the warmest, and December annual has become the warmest, and November was third. So this is some of the information, just how it is performed with respect to maximum temperature, minimum temperature, and the mean temperature. So if you just look at the mean temperature, as I was discussing, it was the second warmest as compared to the previous years. It was 2016 when it was 0.7 degrees Celsius above the normal, and 2023 has been 0.65 degrees Celsius above normal. Now let us look at the temperature variation from 1901. This is the graph on the left hand side. You can see how the temperature change. Dotted line is the trend line. What you see that there is an increasing trend in the annual temperature, and trend is 0.66 degrees Celsius per 100 years. Can you please maintain silence, please? Okay. So what you find that minimum temperature is rising at a rate of 0.31 degrees Celsius per 100 years. Maximum temperature is rising about 1.01 degrees Celsius per 100 years. And mean temperature is rising with 0.66 degrees Celsius for 100 years. Now, this is the temperature trend distribution over the different parts of the country. What you find that this is the pink color everywhere, and that indicates that it is significant trend. There is a significant trend in most parts of the country except the Indo-Gangetic plains. If you just look at it, is white color, that means there is no trend. Otherwise, in some isolated pockets in, say, for example, Gujarat and Maharashtra and northern plains, where it is blue color, that is the falling trend. So mostly the different parts of the country is showing the rising trend, except Indo-Gangetic plains and some parts in the central India. Now let us look at the rainfall. The rainfall, if you just look at, it has been annual rainfall over the country as a whole was 95% of its long period average. Okay, and rainfall during southeast monsoon season was actually 94.4%, if you just remember. And if you look at the post-monsoon season, I have just discussed now. So it has become also normal in the post-monsoon season. So during the month of August, rainfall received over all India was 161.7 millimeter. Homogeneous regions of central India was 164.5 millimeter, and south peninsular India was 73.5 millimeter. Was the lowest since 1901. So August was the worst case in terms of the rainfall activity. Now, impacted extreme weather events, if we just look at entire country, you will find that has been confronted with various types of extreme weather, be it snowfall, or be it cold wave, heat wave, squall, gale, lightning, thunderstorm, hailstorms, floods and droughts, or the cyclones. It has been affected by different parts of the country, has been affected by different types of extreme weather events. But if you just look at the color, you will find that the sky color, for example, light blue color, if you just look at it, is covering a major part of the country. So because of the floods, that is the floods or heavy rain. So it is the most important event which has affected major parts of the country, apart from other events as it is presented here. On the right hand side, this is the distribution of number of deaths and its percentage during 2023. I will request you, please consider it as a reference, but not as the absolute information, because we are not authorized to give you information about the deaths. I will request you to have a look about the deaths figure given by the National Disaster Management Authority or MHA or the concerned state governments. But however, it shows that lightning and thunderstorm was the number one killer. Lightning and thunderstorm was the number one killer, followed by the floods and heavy rain. So these are the two important points. The cyclone death, if you just look at it, is quite less. It is about 1% only. So that is 29 total 29. But the heavy rainfall and lightning, these are causing deaths. So we have to work together to minimize the loss of lives due to heavy rainfall and the lightning. So this is the annual cyclonic disturbances. As I was telling you, the 6 cyclonic disturbances moved. You will find that these cyclones, 2 developed over the Arabian Sea and 4 developed over the Bay of Bengal, and 2 cyclones crossed Bangladesh, 1 cyclone crossed Myanmar, and 2 cyclones crossed India, one in the east coast, another in the west coast, that is Andhra Pradesh and Gujarat. Of course, the cyclone which crossed Gujarat had some impact over Pakistan. Similarly, the cyclone which crossed that's Mocha, it affected both Bangladesh and Myanmar. If you compare with the activity of tropical cyclone activity, this year total 9 cyclone disturbances developed against normal of 11.2. That means it was slightly below normal activity. And categorized, if you just look at the number of depression cyclones was quite less, but number of severe cyclones was quite high. Usually we get 3 severe cyclone storms, but this year we have got 5 severe cyclone storms. The basin wise, if you just look at, there are 3 cyclone disturbances over Arabian Sea, and therefore it was above normal. But over Bay of Bengal, it was 6 against the normal of 8, so it was below normal. Season wise, if you just look at, it was 1 cyclone disturbance in winter season, 2 in pre-monsoon season against normal of 1.4, and 2 in the monsoon season against normal of 5. So monsoon season did not get any depressions. Monsoon depressions was quite less. During post-monsoon season, we got 4 post disturbances against normal of about 5. So if you look at the tracks of all these cyclonic disturbances, we looked at most of the tracks were the recurving tracks. All the cyclones had the recurving tracks, which are the difficult tracks to be predicted. But however, all cyclones crossed coast and it was predicted well. If you just look at the average error, you will find that recent 5 years, 2019 to 2023, errors are less, about 20% less as compared to the previous 5 years, up to 96 hours. Similar is the case with respect to skill. If I look at the landfall point forecast error, it was 30 to 60% improvement during the recent 5 years, 2019 to 2023, as compared to 2014 to 18. You will be very happy to know that in 2015, we prepared a vision statement telling that by 2030, the landfall point forecast error for 24 hours will be reduced to 30 kilometers, 48 hours will be reduced to 60 kilometers, 72 hours will be reduced to 90 kilometers. And now in this figure, I will draw your attention to the blue figure. 24 hours is 18 kilometers. Now, as we plan for 2030 to be 30 kilometers, that means already we have achieved the target by this year as compared to the target fixed for 2030, 7 years before the target year. Similarly, for 48 hours, it is 42 kilometers against target of 60 kilometers. 72-hour forecast is 73 kilometers against target of 90 kilometers. So that means we are ahead of target. So that means there is enough scope further to improve the accuracy and reduce further the error, and hence minimize the loss of property. Now, loss of life has been reduced. Loss of property also needs to be reduced further. Okay, this is, you can say, just intensity also, it is also reducing. There has been 20 to 30% improvement in wind forecast or intensity forecast in the tropical cyclones in recent 5 years compared to previous 5 years. Now let us look at state-wise distribution of extreme weather events. If you just look at almost all states were confronted, I have shown you the diagram a little earlier, by the extreme weather events, and there have been different types of extreme weather events. But if you just look at different colors are indicating different types of extreme weather events, there are certain states which are affected by many or different types of extreme weather events. For example, if I look at lightning, Bihar is more confronted with lightning during 2023, and followed by Odisha, and then Madhya Pradesh and other states. So Bihar, Odisha, and Madhya Pradesh were more frequented by the lightnings, and number of deaths is higher because of this. Now, if you just look at other events also, there has been cyclone storms and heat waves, and also floods and droughts. The floods has caused more deaths if you just look at in Madhya Pradesh, followed by Himachal Pradesh, as all of us know, during the monsoon season. And then, of course, in Sikkim, also we got the deaths because of the floods. Now, let us look at the global sea surface temperature. As all of us know that El Nino conditions are prevailing, and the average temperature is, for the last week, it is 1.4 degrees Celsius above the long period average. So, equatorial sea surface temperatures were above average across the central and eastern Pacific, in the western Indian Ocean, and across most of the Atlantic Ocean. Now, if you look at the El Nino forecast, it is expected that through northern hemisphere winter 23-24, a transition to ENSO neutral condition is anticipated in April-June. That is 60% chance. There is 60% chance that by April-June, it will move towards the neutral conditions. There is some kind of consensus among various global models, and our models done in Ministry of Earth Sciences. So many models also indicate that positive Indian Ocean dipole likely to weaken in the coming months due to the neutral Indian Ocean dipole conditions. Now, this is the forecast of the Ministry of Earth Sciences model, that is that is monsoon mission climate forecast system. It also is in agreement with the global models. This is the Southern Oscillation Index, which is nothing but the part of ENSO. That is, it's also showing that yes, it is improving gradually. This is the Indian Ocean dipole that is a monsoon mission cyclone forecast system. It also indicating that it is likely to become the neutral condition during January, February, March. Now I will come for the probabilistic forecast for 2024 January, February, March season rainfall. As you can see on the left hand side, this is the forecast probability. Below normal is the yellow, orange, red color. Normal is the green color, and above normal is the blue to deep blue color. What you find actually, most parts of the country is expected to have the above normal rainfall activity, except some parts in the southern peninsula, extreme southern peninsula, and some parts of northwest India, and some parts of northeast India, especially Arunachal Pradesh and eastern Assam. So overall, we are expecting good rainfall activity in January, February, March for the country as a whole. quantitatively, rainfall during January, February, March 2024 average over the northern India is most likely to be normal. So here again, the only thing, the northern India. Northern India is the very important region for the rabi crops. So therefore, a special forecast is generated for the northern India. And northern India includes Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Punjab, Haryana, and UP. So this region is expected to have rainfall to be normal category. The long period average of rainfall over northern India is about 184.3 millimeter based on data of 1971 to 2020. The seasonal rainfall over the country as a whole during January, February, March is most likely to be above normal, that is more than 112% of the long period average. And long period average rainfall is 69.7 millimeter for this region. So normal to above normal rainfall is likely, as I told you, in most parts of the country. Now let us look at rainfall during December. Just like season in December, also we are expecting good rainfall activity. There is normal to above normal rainfall activity over most parts of the country, except some parts of northwest India, especially Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh region and Ladakh region, where we can expect the deficient rainfall activity. Similarly, some parts of Gujarat and extreme West Rajasthan and Northeast India also can have the deficient rainfall activity. And rainfall long period average is 49 millimeter over northern India, that is Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Ladakh, Punjab, Haryana, Uttarakhand, and Chandigarh, Delhi, and Uttar Pradesh. This is the region which is called as northern India. And the monthly rainfall for the country as a whole is likely to be above normal, and monthly rainfall for northern India is also likely to be above normal. The long period average for the country as a whole is 17.1 millimeter in the month of December. So what I want to say that December is expected to have good rainfall activity, both for country as a whole and northern India, and both are expected to have above normal rainfall activity. Now let us look at the temperature. The minimum temperatures, you can see that yes, it is predicted to be above normal in most parts of the country, except some parts of northwest India and west central India, covering northern parts of Gujarat, Rajasthan, some parts of Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Punjab, and Rajasthan. So in this area, you can have some normal to below normal activity, otherwise above normal, normal to below normal temperature, minimum temperature, otherwise above normal minimum temperature expected over most parts of central India, eastern India, northeastern India, and peninsular India. Now, maximum temperature, if I just look at, it is showing that it will be normal to above normal over northeastern states and also the southern peninsula. Over west central India, it is expected to be the below normal, especially Gujarat, Rajasthan, and Madhya Pradesh, and northern parts of Maharashtra, and also northwest India is also expected to have the below normal maximum temperature. Now, considering the cold wave continuations, yes, here we predict like last month we predicted that below normal cold wave conditions are expected, and you will be happy to know that there has been no significant cold wave conditions in the country in the month of December. Temperatures are above normal. Now, for the month of January, our prediction is also like this, that below normal cold wave days are expected over central parts of the country during January to March. So this red color indicates below normal and the blue color indicates above normal. So what you find that red color areas are only Maharashtra and Madhya Pradesh, where you can have the below normal cold wave days, and other white areas indicates that is near normal. Near normal cold wave days are expected in the month of January, except some parts of Gujarat and Rajasthan where it can be the above normal cold wave conditions. So I will summarize now that during the upcoming winter season, January to March 2024, the rainfall over North India is consisting of 7 meteorological subdivisions: East Uttar Pradesh, West Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Haryana, Punjab, Himachal Pradesh, Jammu and Kashmir, and Ladakh is most likely to be normal. That is 86 to 114% of the long period average. Seasonal rainfall over the country as a whole during January to March season is most likely to be above normal, that is more than 112% of the long period average. Normal to above seasonal rainfall is likely over most parts of the country except parts of the extreme South Peninsula, India, extreme Northwest and Northeast India, where below normal rainfall is likely. Monthly rainfall for January 2024 over northern India, consisting of 7 meteorological subdivisions, is most likely to be above normal, that is more than 122% of long period average. Then monthly rainfall over the country as a whole during January 2024 is likely to be above normal also. So above normal rainfall is most likely over most parts of the country, except some parts of Northeast India and some pockets of Northeast India, where below normal to normal rainfall is likely. So this is the almost figure is same, that is in different parts of the country except Northwest India and Northeast India. Rainfall for January and rainfall during January to March. Temperature, if you just consider, monthly minimum temperatures are most likely to be above normal over many parts of the country, except some parts of northern India, where normal to below normal minimum temperatures are likely. Below normal cold wave days are expected over most parts of central India during the month of January. Monthly maximum temperatures for January 2024 are likely to be below normal over many parts of central and northwest India. Above normal maximum temperatures are likely for most parts of peninsular and northeast India. मैं अभी आप सभी को हिंदी में जानकारी देने के लिए कोशिश करूंगा। उत्तर भारत में जनवरी से मार्च के पीरियड के दौरान औसत वर्षा सामान्य का 86 से 114% होने का सबसे अधिक संभावना है। 1971 से 2020 के आंकड़ों के आधार पर जनवरी, फरवरी, मार्च के दौरान उत्तर भारत में वर्षा का दीर्घावधि लगभग 184.3 मिलीमीटर है। जनवरी, फरवरी, मार्च सीजन के दौरान पूरे देश में मासिक वर्षा सामान्य से अधिक होने की संभावना है। 1971 to 20 के आंकड़े के आधार पर जनवरी, फरवरी, मार्च सीजन के दौरान पूरे देश में वर्षा का एलपीआर लगभग 69.7 मिलीमीटर है। देश के अधिकांश हिस्सों में सामान्य से अधिक ऋतु वर्षा होने की संभावना है। केवल सुदूर दक्षिण प्रायद्वीपीय भारत, सुदूर उत्तर पश्चिम और उत्तर पूर्व भारत के कुछ हिस्सों को छोड़कर जहां सामान्य से नीचे वर्षा होने की संभावना है। 2024 जनवरी में उत्तर भारत में औसत वर्षा सामान्य से अधिक 122% से ज्यादा होने की संभावना है। 1971 से 2020 के आंकड़ों के आधार पर जनवरी के दौरान उत्तर भारत में वर्षा का एलपीए लगभग 49.0 मिलीमीटर है। जनवरी 2024 के दौरान पूरे देश में मासिक वर्षा सामान्य से अधिक होने की संभावना है। 1971 to 2020 के आंकड़ों के आधार पर जनवरी के दौरान पूरे देश में वर्षा एलपीए का लगभग 17.1 मिलीमीटर होता है। देश के अधिकांश हिस्सों में सामान्य से अधिक बारिश होने की संभावना है। केवल उत्तर भारत के कुछ हिस्सों और पूर्वोत्तर भारत के कुछ हिस्सों को छोड़कर जहां सामान्य से लेकर सामान्य से नीचे बारिश होने की संभावना है। न्यूनतम तापमान की बात करें, जनवरी 2024 के दौरान देश के कई हिस्सों में मासिक न्यूनतम तापमान सामान्य से अधिक रहने की संभावना है। केवल उत्तर पश्चिम और पश्चिम मध्य भारत के कुछ क्षेत्रों को छोड़कर जहां सामान्य से लेकर सामान्य से नीचे न्यूनतम तापमान होने की संभावना है। अधिकतम तापमान की बात करें तो जनवरी 2024 के दौरान मासिक अधिकतम तापमान मध्य और उत्तर पश्चिम भारत के कई हिस्सों में सामान्य से नीचे रहने की संभावना है तथा प्रायद्वीपीय भारत और पूर्वोत्तर भारत के अधिकांश हिस्सों में अधिकतम तापमान सामान्य से अधिक रहने की संभावना है। कोल्ड वेव या शीतलहर की बात करें तो 2024 के महीने के दौरान मध्य भारत के कुछ हिस्सों में जैसे कि महाराष्ट्र और मध्य प्रदेश में कम शीतलहर दिनों की उम्मीद किया जाता है। अभी हम एक्सटेंडेड रेंज फोरकास्ट की बात करें तो एक्सटेंडेड फोरकास्ट के हिसाब से नॉर्मल रेनफॉल एक्टिविटी यहाँ दिखाई दे रहा है फॉर नेक्स्ट 2 वीक्स। स्पेशली सदर्न पेनिनसुलर एरिया में रेनफॉल जारी रहेगा और अंडमान निकोबार आइलैंड्स में ज्यादा बारिश नहीं होगा और लक्षद्वीप एरिया में ज्यादा बारिश होने का संभावना है। टेम्परेचर की बात करें आप देखेंगे कि जो मिनिमम टेम्परेचर है यानी नाइट टेम्परेचर है पहला हफ्ते में 29 दिसंबर से 4 जनवरी ये हफ्ते में सेंट्रल इंडिया और नॉर्दर्न इंडिया और नॉर्थ ईस्ट इंडिया में नॉर्मल से ज्यादा रहेगा और साउदर्न पेनिनसुला में नॉर्मल से कम रहेगा। और 5 जनवरी से 11 जनवरी तक हम देखें तो टेम्परेचर नॉर्मल से कम रहने का उम्मीद है लगभग सभी जगह में, एक्सेप्ट साउथ पेनिनसुला के कुछ हिस्सा और गुजरात, राजस्थान के कुछ हिस्सा और जम्मू एंड कश्मीर, लद्दाख का कुछ हिस्सा में। और मैक्सिमम टेम्परेचर की बात करें तो पहले हफ्ते जो 29 दिसंबर से 4 जनवरी है, इसमें अगेन नॉर्थ वेस्ट इंडिया, ईस्टर्न इंडिया, नॉर्दर्न प्लेन्स में एबो नॉर्मल रहने की संभावना है और पेनिनसुलर इंडिया में बिलो नॉर्मल रहने का संभावना है। 5 जनवरी से 11 जनवरी तक हम देखेंगे तो मोस्ट पार्ट्स ऑफ द कंट्री में बिलो नॉर्मल रेनफॉल होने की संभावना है। सबसे ज्यादा प्रोबेबिलिटी है मध्य प्रदेश, महाराष्ट्र वगैरह एरिया में, जहां की कोल्ड वेव कंडीशंस डेवलप हो सकता है। अदरवाइज जो जम्मू एंड कश्मीर, हिमाचल प्रदेश, लद्दाख, उत्तराखंड एरिया है और वेस्ट राजस्थान है, नॉर्दर्न पार्ट्स ऑफ गुजरात है, वहां से भी एबो नॉर्मल मैक्सिमम टेम्परेचर होने का संभावना है। सो मैक्सिमम टेम्परेचर बिलो रहने से आपका कोल्ड डे कंडीशंस, सो मध्य प्रदेश, महाराष्ट्र वगैरह में कोल्ड डे कंडीशंस का संभावना रहेगा 5 जनवरी से 11 जनवरी के बीच। और फास्ट और उसी पीरियड में आप मिनिमम टेम्परेचर फोरकास्ट देखें, वही एरिया में भी बिलो नॉर्मल टेम्परेचर दिखाई दे रहा है। ऐसे भी हो सकता है कभी कभी कोल्ड वेव और कोल्ड डे दोनों देखने को मिल सकता है नॉर्थ वेस्ट इंडिया और सेंट्रल इंडिया में, स्पेशली सेकेंड वीक, दैट इज 5 जनवरी टू 11 जनवरी। सो आप लोग तैयार होना चाहिए, हम लोग भी तैयार होना चाहिए। 5 जनवरी से शुरू करके 11 जनवरी तक जो वीक है, तब वीक में बिलो नॉर्मल टेम्परेचर रहेगा, दोनों मैक्सिमम टेम्परेचर, मिनिमम टेम्परेचर, सेंट्रल इंडिया में, नॉर्थ वेस्ट इंडिया में, ऑफ टू नॉर्दर्न पार्ट्स ऑफ पेनिनसुला, और स्पेशली सेंट्रल इंडिया और एडजॉइनिंग नॉर्दर्न प्लेन्स में कोल्ड वेव कंडीशंस देखने को मिल सकता है, साथ ही साथ कोल्ड डे कंडीशंस भी। ये अगले 5 दिन का इम्पैक्ट वेस्ट वार्निंग है। जब जैसे हम लोगों को पता है कि अभी फॉग का स्पेल चल रहा है, जो लास्ट ऑलमोस्ट 1 वीक हो गया फॉग कंडीशन चल रहा है प्लेन्स ऑफ कंट्री। धीरे धीरे शुरू होते हुए अभी पूरा ईस्टर्न इंडिया और बांग्लादेश तक फॉग कंडीशन डेवलप हो रहा है और धीरे धीरे सुधार हो रहा है नॉर्थ ईस्ट इंडिया में। फिर भी आज शायद पहला दिन है जो कि हम रेड कलर वार्निंग हटा दिया है और हम ऑरेंज कलर वार्निंग दिए है। दैट मीन्स फॉग का जो तीव्रता है, कोहरा का जो तीव्रता है, वो धीरे धीरे अभी कम हो रहा है। फिर भी नेक्स्ट 5 डेज तक हम कोहरा देख सकते हैं, स्पेशली पंजाब एंड हरियाणा एंड एडजॉइनिंग एरियाज, वहां फॉग रह सकता है। इसके साथ साथ अगले 2 दिन की बात करें तो डेंस टू वेरी डेंस फॉग कंडीशन हम राजस्थान में, पंजाब, हरियाणा, चंडीगढ़, दिल्ली, वेस्ट यूपी एंड एडजॉइनिंग नॉर्दर्न एमपी में हम देख सकते हैं। सो फॉग के लिए आप लोग तैयार रहिए और लोगों को बताते रहिए कि फॉग की वजह से ट्रांसपोर्ट सेक्टर प्रभावित होता है, स्पेशली रेलवेज, सरफेस ट्रांसपोर्ट एंड ऑल्सो द एयर ट्रैफिक। और फॉग की वजह से पोल्यूटेंट्स नीचे दब के रह जाते हैं, इसलिए कि हमारा हेल्थ के ऊपर इसका इम्पैक्ट ज्यादा होता है। और इसके साथ साथ फॉग भी पावर ट्रांसमिशन को प्रभावित करता है, क्योंकि फॉग की वजह से जो ह्यूमिडिटी होता है वो कैपेसिटी में जब लग जाते हैं, इसका परफॉर्मेंस भी प्रभावित होता है। इसके साथ साथ एक लो प्रेशर एरिया अभी साउथ ईस्ट अरेबियन सी में केंद्रीभूत है और ये एक लो प्रेशर एरिया हो सकता है। इसकी वजह से अभी लक्षद्वीप एरिया में अगले 3 दिन में हेवी रेनफॉल होने का संभावना है। इसके साथ साथ साउथ पेनिनसुला में मोस्ट प्रोबेबल एरिया जहां हेवी रेनफॉल होने वाला है और स्ट्रॉन्ग विंड भी चलने वाला है, वो है लक्षद्वीप एरिया फॉर नेक्स्ट 3 डेज। सो इसलिए हम फिशरमैन वगैरह को हमें वार्निंग दिए हैं कि उस एरिया में अंदर न जाए, और लक्षद्वीप को भी हमारा वार्निंग जारी है। सो थैंक यू। सो अभी हम आपसे कमेंट्स और क्वेश्चंस ले सकते हैं। So any questions or comments? So if there is no questions or comments, I thank all of you. और फिर दोबारा भारत मौसम विज्ञान विभाग की तरफ से और मेरे तरफ से आप सभी को हार्दिक बधाई, अभिनंदन और शुभकामनाएं। नया साल के लिए आप और आपके परिवार के साथ खुश रहे, स्वस्थ रहे, स्वच्छ रहे और आपका सभी कामना पूर्ण होए, यही हमारा प्रार्थना है। आप सभी आगे बढ़े और हम सभी मिलकर देश की सेवा करें। आप सभी का योगदान के लिए, कंटिन्यूअसली आपका सभी का सपोर्ट के लिए हम आपके पास आभार है। थैंक यू।
सर एक क्वेश्चन है इसमें सर, चैट में है सर, एक क्वेश्चन है सर।
हाँ बोलिए।
ये चैट में लिखे हैं सर, ये साक्षी जी लिए। साक्षी जी बोलिए आप। इन्होंने सर लिखा, हाउ डू यू सी द वेदर अफेक्टिंग व्हीट क्रॉप इन सेंट्रल एंड नॉर्थ वेस्टर्न इंडिया?
हेलो सर,
सो
जो अभी मौसम है आगे के एक जनवरी और फरवरी में, इसका वीट गेहूं के फसल पे कैसे असर हो सकता है?
देखिए, जो अभी हमारा पूर्वानुमान है, पूर्वानुमान के हिसाब से जो बारिश होने वाला है वो नॉर्मल से वो नॉर्मल हो सकता है प्लेन्स ऑफ नॉर्थ वेस्ट इंडिया, जैसे कि राजस्थान, गुजरात, हरियाणा, पंजाब, उत्तर प्रदेश, मध्य प्रदेश एरिया में। सो जब अच्छा बारिश होगा, मॉइस्चर वगैरह तो मिलेगा, और इसके साथ साथ जो टेम्परेचर है, हमारा जो पूर्वानुमान है टेम्परेचर, कोल्ड डे कंडीशंस या कोल्ड डे कंडीशंस होने का संभावना कम है, इसलिए कोई एडवर्स इम्पैक्ट जो होता है टेम्परेचर का वो होने का संभावना नहीं है। नॉर्मली रहेगा टेम्परेचर जैसे हमारा पूर्वानुमान है। इसकी वजह से हमारा ये उम्मीद है कि इसका कोई नेगेटिव इम्पैक्ट नहीं होगा व्हीट क्रॉप के ऊपर, और व्हीट क्रॉप अच्छा रह सकता है।
श्योर सर, थैंक यू सर।
सर दिसंबर 1 को आपने जो प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस किया था, यू टोल्ड दैट अबाउट नॉर्मल रेनफॉल फोरकास्ट किया था, लेकिन 31 दिसंबर प्रूव टू बी हाईली डेफिसिट, एंड नाउ वी आर अगेन forecasting above normal in January, February, March. So how do you see this?
No, I think Jitendra ji, you could not understand, or I could not explain you clearly. December has been 60% above normal rainfall. Rainfall has been 60% excess in the month of December. Deficient नहीं है। हाँ, ये जरूरी है कि आपका जो नॉर्थ वेस्ट इंडिया है, नॉर्थ वेस्ट इंडिया का कुछ हिस्से में रेनफॉल डेफिशिएंट है, मगर कंट्री एज ए होल जैसे हमने बोला था कि एबो नॉर्मल रहेगा, एबो नॉर्मल है, 60% एबो नॉर्मल है।
Okay, so northwest India means wheat growing area has a deficit, you mean to say, sir?
Yes, that you are right. Northwest India rainfall has been deficient, but country as a whole it was above normal, 60% above normal.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So any other comments or questions? Otherwise, thank you very much.
Hello, sir.
So one question.
बोलिए।
Yeah, the number of deaths which have been listed in the graphs which you just pointed out, you said that the exact data cannot be relied upon. So should we use the data which you have given, or should we not
No,
use
I will suggest you please you go by the state government or government reports who are responsible to provide the data. But this is based on the newspaper reports, whatever reports we have got from, because something we have collected as per our practice from based on newspaper reports and whatever data we get from some state governments. So it is not therefore an absolute. These are the limitations. You can refer it, but this is the limitation of this data.
Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
I'm Dr. Shishir Das, President,
Yes.
Community Radio Association of Odisha. Sir, I had just a point to know from you. So whatever data you are presenting and whatever information you are sharing, whether we can translate that data.
Monthly briefing.
Yes, you can.
Hello.
You can utilize this data. No problem.
जरूरी नहीं है ना, सबको जरूरी
This
different parts of Odisha.
मंथली मीटिंग
Hello.
एक मिनट, one by one. शिशिर जी, please go ahead. शिशिर जी, please go ahead.
Yes. 37 community radios are operating in the state of Odisha, and many of radios are transmitting their things in their local dialects and local language. So we can have some kind of support from you in interpreting these things at their level.
Yes. We have our Met Center, Meteorological Center in Bhubaneswar. They provide in local language the informations.
Yeah.
Whatever information you need, we can provide you in local language.
Sir, we had met them and we have a kind of a discussion also. And
Okay.
the things you have presented today is very interesting and enlightening. So that's why I was curious to know whether we can share this kind of prediction and all that.
You can.
With the locally.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay,
you
sir.
can.
Thank you.
We will share it in our media group. Will share it. The PPT will be shared, and also this record is also there. It will be available on YouTube, and you can take help from our people. They can help you in translating.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Next, please.
Sir, Jayashree from Hindustan Times.
Yes, please, madam.
Sir, I just wanted to know, last year was the second warmest on record for India. Is it mainly a result of El Nino conditions? And also next year, since El Nino is likely to wane from April onwards, are we likely to see slightly lower temperatures next year? How is it going to be?
Yeah, if you consider El Nino is the only parameter to influence the temperature, yes, certainly, because this year is El Nino year, and El Nino certainly helps in increasing the temperature. And next year's summer, we are expecting that it will be neutral conditions. Therefore, it is not expected to be so warm as it has been this year.
Sure.
Just for example, if you look at the pre-monsoon season of 2023, it was not so warm. It was near normal. At that time, El Nino did not develop. El Nino developed in monsoon season, and temperature was above normal in monsoon season, also above normal in post-monsoon season.
Sure, sir. Thank you.
Clear?
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Yes. Okay.
Sir, please share PPT, sir.
Yes, we will share the PPT. And whatever data are needed, Dr. Srijit is here, so you will provide the data. Okay. So thank you very much.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay. इनका मैं किया है ये बहुत सारा किया है अभी भेजेगा आपको बट ये कि बहुत ज्यादा लिखा है वो उसको सर्टिफाइड कॉपी सर्टिफाइड किया